Hi guys, and welcome back to the garage, the wet garage. As you can see, maybe the street is wet and my truck is wet, and it is actually raining here today. How about that? We have no breeze because you can see my wind chimes aren't moving. But yeah, I'm out in the garage and it's wet outside. So, I'm going to put you down. Get my thumb out of the way. Hi guys! Oh, I am just home from work and decided to come out in the garage and do this video. And it's also a rainy day, and as long as the wind isn't blowing, the rain does not come in the garage. So I'm lucky there. So, yeah, I thought this was a good day to actually come outside in the spiritual garage to talk about some things. So, my girl, my friend, Wayward's son, Sunny, we love Sunny. I love Sunny. I love coffee and Fridays, coffee and cards. Sunny does live on Friday mornings. If you guys haven't seen her, go check her out because it's a pretty fun time. So Sunny recently did a video about a rant, a little bit of a rant, and talking about medications and physical problems and spiritual issues and just things going on in her life. And so I kind of wanted to do a VR to Sunny. So, and this also kind of goes along with, I think, somewhat, the comment I see the most on my channel is I make everybody laugh. I make everybody laugh. I make everybody smile. And I consider that a good thing. But, you know, I wasn't always there. I wasn't always this happy individual, despite some of the things that I have going on. So to Sunny, I feel your pain. Life is not easy, but as my mother would call it, it's stuff. And it's stuff that everybody has to deal with. We all come with our own stuff that that we have to work through. And being an adult sometimes totally sucks. That's why I have my poo people. Because that kind of alleviates some of the adulting business here. But, yeah, so I just wanted to say that I'm in a very good headspace now. It took a long time to get here. Trust me. Waving at the neighbor. It took me a long time to get here, and a lot of darn work, and a lot of tower moments. So I can understand anybody who is afraid of the tower because, yeah, it's pretty significant. So my story is I have dealt with depression myself my entire life. My mother was affected by depression to the point where she was actually hospitalized for a time when I was probably 5 or 6 years old. Now, I don't remember it. I remember staying with my grandparents during that time, but I couldn't at that age comprehend what was going on. But through the years, I discovered that some of her tendencies kind of rubbed off on me a little bit. And as far as the self-loathing and the negative talk in the head, and the negative thoughts, and school didn't help. I was bullied throughout my whole high school years. That's why, throughout my whole school years, I was bullied, which I never Once I got out, I never looked back, and I don't care to interact with those people again. Uh, so anyway, moving forward, yeah, I had depression. I tried to commit suicide a couple times. Fortunately for me, I didn't make it because life actually has turned out to be pretty darn good. But I had to get some form of help, and I actually used the same process that my mother used um, under her tutelage, rather than going to see a therapist or a psychiatrist. I did go see a psychiatrist, and I thought he was full of shit, truthfully, because the first thing he started out with that made me think that he was full of shit was he drew this circle on a piece of paper, and then he drew another circle next to it, and then he told me I needed to write in all the good thoughts on this side and all the bad thoughts on that side, and I needed to, in my mind, push the good thoughts into the bad thoughts and push them out of the way. And I'm like, dude, don't you think I've been trying to fucking do that already? So I refused to go back to see him again. Fast forward a number of years, and I had another family member. I was probably in my 20s now. I had another family member who was very influential to me, and their push was I had to be perfect. So then you develop the perfectionism. You have to be perfect. So I had to have the right job. I had to try and find the right guy. I had to make my house museum worthy. I kid you not, I damn near killed myself trying to work, climb the corporate ladder, and keep my house looking absolutely pristine. Yeah, I had a lot of years of that. A lot of years of that. And it was never good enough for her. Never good enough. I would be so proud of something I did, and it was like, you can do more. You can do more. Yeah. So that starts an evil chain in your brain. An evil, evil chain. And so after this individual passed on, I had another one of those eye-opening moments. And it seems to come in decades. I had stuff go on up until I was 17 and left home with school, right? Then you have your 20s, and I was being pushed in the direction of being perfect, 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 which wore me out. By the time I was 30, I was back into a depression. Ooh, hold on, guys. Hold on. Let's see if I can catch it. Look, it's a rainbow, guys. It's a rainbow. Look at that. How awesome. How awesome. I can't believe I caught this. Okay, back to the video. I had to catch the rainbow. Come on, it's a rainbow. So that means good jujubes for my story here. So anyway, when I turned 30, that was some more interesting times. But I really didn't hit my happiness stride until I hit 40. And then all of a sudden I had a shift. And it was almost like, and my mother was a great therapist. She really was. She helped me through all of these hurdles in my life. And I wasn't always kind to her during the process. I hope I made up for it afterwards. But in my younger years, I definitely was not kind to her. But she stuck with me, and I eventually began to start seeing the light. And it was in my 40s, I had an epiphany moment that was like, I'm tired. I'm tired of being serious all the time. I'm tired of waiting for some form of happiness. I'm tired of saying, if I get this, if I get here, if I get there, if I reach this next rung, then I'll take time to be happy. Then I'll do this. It's just like, you know, when I would buy a new wardrobe, buy a new blouse and say, you know, when it's a perfect day, I'll wear that shirt. When it's a perfect time, I'll wear that dress. Never wore them. Ended up growing out of most of them, and they ended up being given away to charity. Okay? So, I'm going to tell you, be happy now. Be happy now. That is the biggest thing I have learned in my life. There is no guarantee that you're going to get to the next rung, or that you're going to get Brad Pitt, or that you're going to have millions of dollars like the Kardashians. None of that is for sure. Why wait? Why wait? Be happy now. My mom used to say to me, the biggest things you have to remember is, if you have a roof over your head and you have a vehicle to get you back and forth to your job and a little bit of money for food in your belly, what more do you really need? You don't. All this stuff is extra. I mean, it's nice extra. You know, the tarot cards and stuff. It's a beautiful extra. But would I be any less happy if I didn't have them tomorrow? No. Because I'm still here and breathing, and I still have friends, and I still have my guy, and so I'm still going to be happy because stuff is stuff. Okay? So fast forward a few more years, and I'm getting close to 50 mark. And what happens when I turn 50? Hello, type 2 diabetes. Yes. It does run on my dad's side of the family. Never gave it a thought, really. Even though I am what they consider morbidly obese. I never thought about it. But I'm being controlled with pill form medication. So far that's working. Between that and watching my diet, watching what I eat, you know, my sugar intake, you know, I'm okay. It's taking care of that. Also, in my 50s, fun stuff. I had an incident where I passed out one night at dinner. Yeah, pretty scary. I came to rather quickly. Uh-oh, here comes the mailman. God, this is going to be a hell of a video, isn't it? I know. Oh, gosh, you guys, hang with me here, because I'm expecting a package from my soul sister. So, I'm very excited for this. Hang on. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so here I am in my 50s. I pass out one night at dinner. Everything's okay. I came to shortly afterwards, but my mother was like, you really have to get that checked out. You really need to get that checked out. And then I had to admit to her that there was probably a little over a half a dozen times in my entire adult life that had happened before, that I had literally passed out while eating. And I wasn't sure what was going on, but I knew that somehow my esophagus closed off. So we went in to see an ear, nose, throat specialist. And the doctor did what he called an endoscopy on me, which is they put me out and they literally put a tube down your throat to see what's going on. Well, what they discovered is, and this is a birth defect, is that I was born with a very narrow esophagus. And if a large chunk of food or something gets caught, it will literally plug the hole and it cuts off my air supply. And so that's when I pass out. So I ended up having to go in and have a procedure done where they went in and they literally stretched open my esophagus. Now, my doctor said normally people only have to have that done once in a lifetime, but there is potential for it to reoccur and go back to the size it was. So I have to be conscious of that, especially when I'm eating, that I thoroughly, chew my food, because I don't want to go through that process again. And that also found out that was another contributing factor to why I had been having acid reflux. Um, my previous doctors all thought it was because, well, I'm overweight. A lot of overweight people have acid reflux. But as it turns out, it was because of the way my esophagus was causing the acid reflux. And so my doctor told me that I too had to go on Prilosec, which I get under the name omeprazole. And I do have it by prescription. And I asked the doctor if I would ever be able, because I don't like medicine. I don't like medicine. I really would rather not. But there are some things in life where you just have to come to terms with the fact that you're going to have to. This is a toxic world we live in, and I think it's more than it's ever been. And more people are sick with chronic illnesses, and unfortunately, this is what the industrialized civilization has done to us. So now I have the acid reflux, so I'm taking the omeprazole for that every day. And if I don't take it, it's not good. It's not good. And after, having it for like 30 years, this year I finally broke down and I got myself an adjustable bed, because at 54 years old, I was getting tired of sleeping on wedge pillows. Hate those damn things. They're so uncomfortable. And then you really slide down them. With the adjustable bed, I still slide, but not as much. And it's much more comfortable to sleep on. So, yeah, I had to do that as well. And then on top of everything, if that wasn't bad enough, in my 40s, I forgot about this part. In my 40s, I was having trouble breathing. And again, they thought it was the overweight, No, because this girl used to smoke. I started smoking at the age of 13. And I smoked for 35 years. And my doctor told me, you have asthma. You have chronic asthma. Because I kept coming up with bronchitis and pneumonia. I mean, like every other month I was getting it. I was getting strep throat too. I've had that over a dozen times in my lifetime. So that came down to that. And the hardest part was my job. I am required to climb aboard ships. And so I needed my breath to get up those ladders. So I quit. I quit smoking. But I didn't do it alone, because I knew I was going to have a hard time. And they had just come out with this new drug on the market. And the drug is called Chantix. Now, Chantix was brand new when I took it. And I thought it was great, because seriously, I did one course is 3 months. And they say you can usually quit by the first course. But if you really want to solidify it, they want you to do a second course. So I did the first course and I quit. And to solidify it, I did the second course. And it was great. You know, I was affirmed. It was quit. I didn't want it anymore. I didn't miss it. It was great. It was the best experience to quit smoking I've ever had. However, a few months down the road from that, maybe even a year, my personality started to change. And I started to get angry. And I mean, kill angry, homicidal angry, over the dumbest of things. The dumbest of things. I literally told my boss that if he didn't get off my case, I was going to take him and throw him over the balcony because he's only about 4'5". Lucky I didn't lose my job, right? Oh, God. But the big, again, another awakening came when one night I had bought my guy a stupid $10 Christmas gift that I had left in the vehicle, and he had to go out to the vehicle to get something out of it, and he saw the gift, and I went ballistic. I slammed the front door, and my mother thought it was going to come off the hinges. And after that, she set me down and she said, Jeff, something ain't right here. Something ain't right here. We need to do something. So back to my primary doctor I went, and I told her what was going on and things. And come to find out, of course, Chantix now comes with a warning that it can cause changes in emotional states. Yeah. So, and then on top of that, if that wasn't bad enough, I was also going through menopause. So you double the anger by 2. It was not good, people, not good. So, consequently, I am now on an antidepressant. I take Celexa, which goes by the clinical name of citalopram. And I take that every day. It's a very low-level dose, but I'm going to have to take it for the rest of my life. Again, I tried going off it for a little while, and the feelings of anger started to immediately come back up. And so I have no choice. So now I'm taking my metformin for my diabetes. I have Symbicort, which is a daily long-lasting inhaler for my chronic asthma. And I have the Celexa to keep me from killing people. But you know, when I think about it, some of those things are a small price to pay to get yourself right with the world. Okay? So I had to sit with that for a long time and realize and fully accept that I would never, ever, ever be able to come off of these medications. And that was a tough thing to sit through. And I know Sunny is feeling the exact same way. She has no choice. She has to take these medications. I'm sure some of you out there are the same way. It's tough when you don't want to do these things because we know already how bad the chemicals are for your system. But you're forced to anyway, right? So that was probably my largest hurdle, was understanding all of those medical things and really sitting with the process and understanding that for my health and for my life, I had to do this. Once I accepted that, then it was like, all right, we're in a good place. We're going to be happy now. Every day, happy now. I buy a blouse, I wear it tomorrow. No saving this for later. No saving this for whatever, or for this or for that, or that reason or the other reason. now. Do it now. Listening to me, are ya? Okay? You got the Scooby-Doo addiction? Get to it now. You got poop addiction? Do it now. You know? Don't wait. There is no time like the present to be present and to be happy. There is always something in your life you can be happy for. Always, always, always something in your life you can be happy for. And I tell you, I'm going to tell you another way that translates as well. Here we go. We've all been talking lately about prosperity and abundance, right? Prosperity and abundance. That's how you get it, people. That's how you have prosperity and abundance. You put that happiness out into the world. You be happy now. You share that happiness. You shine that light for people. It comes back. You know? A lot of people don't believe the witchy rule, but this chick does, and I live by it. Whatever you put out comes back tenfold. Put out the good stuff. That's what I'm all about, putting out the good stuff. And you know what? I have lots of good things happen to me. Lots of good things. And I'm grateful for, and it just makes me happy to be in this life and to be around the people I'm with and doing the things I'm doing. So, I think I've rambled long enough. If you guys are still with me, bless your hearts. But be happy now. Take joy in everything. Okay? Simple as that. Be joyful in everything you do. And you can be happy and goofy, just like me. All right, guys. So, from the wet garage today, much love, and I'll see you next time.